Chasing 700 is sponsored by CarShield.
Bleacher seats at Busch Stadium are hard to come by these days, and this is why. Here's a first-person view of watching a historic Albert Pujols home run fly right over your head. That was Albert's blast for 698 last night. With 2 games today and 1 tomorrow before a long road trip, he'll have some work to do if he wants to get 700 at home this weekend. So let's go over to Busch for Game 1 today against the Reds. Dakota Hudson back on the hill after a stint in Memphis. Those fans in left field were hoping for an Albert homer today, but I think they'll take a Yadier Molina one. Man, has he been hot in September. And a curtain call to boot for his 2-run blast. Put the Cardinals up. Story of Game 1, though, was Hudson. 8 innings, no earned runs in his return to the majors. As the Cardinals beat the Reds 5-1, Albert went 0 for 3 in Game 1. With the Cardinals' magic number dwindling by the day, the excitement is only continuing to build at Busch Stadium. Couple that with the final games for a trio of franchise legends, and you've got something extra special. I sat down with Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol this week for Sports Plus to talk it all over, including just how easy Albert's hot second half has made it on him filling out a lineup card.
When people are asking the question of like, hey, how do you get them to 700? Like, we're focused on winning. Our first filter is creating a lineup that's going to allow us to win that night. We're looking forward to clinching and then going beyond that. So to answer your question, he's hit righties, he's hit lefties, and he's been our best option. So now it's a matter of when to rest him in order to keep him fresh.
If there's one thing Luther Burden III taught people in high school, it was this: don't punt the ball to him. Mizzou finally utilized Burden as a returner today, and it seems that Abilene Christian didn't get that original memo. Tigers looking to get back on track after last week's debacle against K-State, and it's the aforementioned Burden to the rescue. He fields the punt off a few bounces and makes quick work of the Abilene Christian defense all the way to the house for a 78-yard return touchdown. Man, has that kid got some skills. Okay, the Tigers' other East Side receiver, he had a big day too. Brady Cook found Dominic Lovett for 2 touchdowns and 132 yards. Tigers top Abilene Christian 34-17. And Dominic, what were you thinking out there today?
Every time I try to touch the ball, I try to think touchdown. So that's why some of the cuts I make, y'all might be like, why is he going backwards? Or why is he going that way? Because I'm just, every time I touch the ball, I try to think touchdown. So I try to wiggle my way out of everything and try to get what I can get. So every time I touch it, I think touchdown. So that's my mindset.
All right, let's go to Lovett's alma mater. East St. Louis and Robert Popps Battle and Miles McVeigh taking on Belleville East today on the high school gridiron, and Battle was locked in. He finds Caden Rogers up the middle, and Rogers finds the end zone. Flyers up early in Belleville East on this one. Then it's going to be Battle. Really pretty pass here, and an even prettier catch from DeJarian Miller down the sideline. That connection was a good one because coming up here, they'd finish that drive with a touchdown. East St. Louis wins big again, 57-0 over Belleville East. Now, as I mentioned, the Cardinals have another game tonight. Albert Pujols not in the lineup. You got to give him a game off every now and then.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a pinch hit appearance later on, though.
All right. We'll be watching. Corey, thanks.
Chasing 700 is sponsored by CarShield.
There are so many historic things happening at Busch Stadium nowadays. An incredible feat last night is already old news. Cardinals closer Ryan Helsley struck out the side in the 9th on 9 pitches for an immaculate inning. According to the team, it's only the 3rd time that's happened in recorded Cardinals history. The Cards were hoping to stay hot in today's doubleheader against the Reds. Let's go over to Busch for Game 1 against the Reds. Dakota Hudson back and on the hill after a stint in Memphis. Those fans in left field here, they were hoping for an Albert homer, but I think they'll take a Yadier Molina one too. Man, has he been hot in September, and he's going to get a curtain call to boot. His 2-run blast put the team up 5-0. The story of Game 1 was Hudson, though. 8 innings, no earned runs in his return to the majors as the Cardinals beat the Reds 5-1. Albert went 0 for 3 in Game 1, and he is not in the starting lineup for Game 2. The Cardinals' magic number continues to fall, and while they haven't clinched anything yet, it's hard not to think about October. I sat down with manager Oliver Marmol this week for Sports Plus and asked him if he's feeling any of that pressure that comes with a playoff push.
We hold ourselves to a higher standard. I hold myself to a higher standard than any fan could hold me to. The accountability is going to be greater in-house than it is outside of here. So no, I don't feel the pressure of it. Anything less than us clinching would be a disappointment, and I welcome that accountability.
If there's one thing Luther Burden III taught people in high school, it was this: don't punt the ball to this man. Mizzou finally utilized him as a returner today, and it seems that Abilene Christian didn't get that original memo. Tigers looking to get back on track after last week's debacle against K-State, and it's the aforementioned Burden to the rescue. He fields the punt off a few bounces and makes quick work of Abilene Christian all the way to the house for a 78-yard punt return touchdown. The Tigers' other East Side receiver had a big day too. Brady Cook found Dominic Lovett for 2 touchdowns and 132 yards. Tigers top Abilene Christian 34-17. And Dominic, what kind of skills are you bringing to the table for this team?
Not to brag, I'm a little shifty, kind of fast, kind of got good hands. So you put those 3 things together with a quarterback, boom, you got me.
All right, high school time now. East St. Louis, Lovett's alma mater, Robert Battle and Miles McVeigh taking on Belleville East earlier today. Battle was locked in. He finds Caden Rogers up the middle, and Rogers is going to find the end zone for the Flyers. Then it's going to be Battle again. This is going to be a really pretty pass and an even prettier catch from DeJarian Miller down the sideline. That connection was a good one. They'd finish the drive with a touchdown coming up here in just a second. East St. Louis wins big again, 57-0 over Belleville East. Jim, I'm glad we're not sitting here talking about another Mizzou loss. Last week was rough. You need a few cupcake games. They got Abilene Christian today. It's going to get harder next week against Auburn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Auburn next week?
Auburn next week, big one.
Yeah.